G'day everyone, it's Jeff here again, and I want to talk to you now about my Godox flashes. Okay, so last year I had a situation where I had to send my two V860II flashes back to Godox. It took 7 months to have them replaced, 7 months, and that was a long time. And finally got them back about a week ago. And I've had them on a shoot now for the last 2 days, been using them lightly as fill flashes, and they were going fine. They're the two right there. And you can see they're both switched on. And then this morning, went to the first job this morning, grabbed the flash, put it on a light stand to light a hallway as my fill flash, and lo and behold, it wouldn't work. So I thought I might have got the settings wrong or something like that, so I've turned it off, started it again, checked the settings, wouldn't work. Try pressing the, you got these little buttons on the back here so you can fire them. Nothing. Alright, so I checked it against the other flash. Here's the other flash here, and they've got exactly the same settings at the moment. That one goes off, and this one, nothing. I've swapped the batteries between the two of them. I've tried everything. It's dead, and I don't know why it died. It was literally sitting in my bag last night, in its case, in a padded bag. I pulled it out this morning, put it on my light stand, and went to fire it and it wouldn't fire, and I thought it might have been the trigger. Turned the trigger off and on, didn't work. Changed the group, made sure the channel group, everything was the same. Made sure the settings were the same as the other flash, nothing. So after 7 months of drama with Godox to get my two flashes replaced, they finally send me out 2 more flashes, and within 2 days of light use, one of them breaks. It's died, it's completely dead. I'm going to have to send this one back now and get this replaced, and this is just turning into a little bit of a joke, to be honest. And Godox, if anyone from Godox ever sees this video and watches it, you got to do better. This is hopeless, this is really hopeless. Now, it's really annoying. I rely on my equipment, on a day-to-day basis. Yes, sure, I have backup stuff. I have backup equipment, as every photographer should. But when you've got one radio system, you want that system to all work. So I've got the AD200 and I've got my two AD360s. They're all on this X1 system, wireless system that Godox has. And it's great. You have one transmitter on your camera and you can fire several different flashes. And that's the whole trick. You don't want to have different brand flashes that don't communicate with each other. So when one of these breaks, I'm using my spare flashes, which have an optical slate, which is not ideal. I can't shoot them if it's not in line sight from the other flash, and if the light's too bright, it won't see it and it won't go off. So yeah, that's the update. I waited 7 months and they sent me a flash and it broke within 2 days of light use. The other interesting thing about the two flashes is I suspect, I can't prove this, but I suspect these are refurbs. So one of them has a very loose door. I noticed that straight away. The other one, the door is much, much tighter. So one of them's got a really tight door. And when I got the first two, they had really nice tight battery doors on them. And the one with the tight door is the one that works. The one with a really loose door, I noticed straight away, I was like, oh, that's really loose. Like it's been used. And that's the one that's dead. So what's the lesson from this? What can we take away from this? Well, I still like my AD200. It has its pros and cons. The AD200 is a nice flash. It's plasticky, and there's some issue with the battery moving around inside the case, and I really don't think it could handle a fall to the ground. I think it would probably shatter it. But it's so light, and the lightness of it I really love. I can use this flash all day long. Shooting interiors, I've got a pole now, I hold it up in the ceiling and shoot the ceilings or shoot windows or whatever. And I can hold it right out on a long pole, and it doesn't get tiring because it's so light. And I love it. It's a great flash. It has lots of power. I can turn it down to lower power when I'm in smaller rooms. But ideally, in smaller rooms, I need to use these guys, because just having this smaller area up here and putting a little dome on a smaller flash like this is much better in a smaller room than using a really big flash turned down. So now I'm down to... down one flash. Now I've only got one flash that works of these two 860s. So yeah, if Godox is a great company. They're innovative and they've created some innovative products. There's no doubt about that. And I like their products. I think they're interesting and innovative, as I've said. They're a little bit cheap, a little bit plasticky, but you know, they're cheaper priced too. But they also do things that other flashers don't, and they've invented new categories of flashers that really help me. So I've got nothing bad to say about the products, the product innovation, that kind of thing. Product quality, not so good. The AD200 hasn't failed me yet. Hopefully it never will. And if it does, I mean, it's a $600-700 flash. It wouldn't want to fail you. These little guys here were for, I think, $350 or $375, something like that. And that's still a lot of money. These guys shouldn't fail so easily. So I guess if you're in the market for Godox flashes, it's just something to be wary of. These V860IIs, I've had issues with them. Godox wouldn't replace them for months, and then they finally agreed to replace them, and it took 3 months for them to send replacements. And then they send a replacement that breaks, it literally dies within 2 days, and it feels like it's a refurb. So yeah, I'm not happy, but what can I do? I'll go back to the distributor. I've actually already contacted Godox on Facebook, and they haven't responded yet. That was this morning, about 7 hours ago, and I've had no response from them on Facebook, which is odd because I think they're based in China, so their time zone is was very similar to Australia. So their working day is right now, so they should be seeing their Facebook Messenger page and responding to any issues, and they just haven't responded. I've also taken a video of the issue and sent it to the distributor, so more wasting my time, more wasting my money. Yeah, so I might look into the Yongnuo flashes. I have never used them, and I'll be interested in using them. If anyone watching this has used the Yongnuo flashes for Nikon, let me know. Let me know what you think of them. How powerful are they? The ones that, like, this is the V860II, so I guess this is a top of the range one for Godox. So I guess any Yongnuo flash, which is the equivalent power output of this, let me know in the comments. Let me know what they're like, what the system's like. If Yongnuo has any innovative stuff like the AD200, for instance, because I mean, if I'm going to go to another system, I've got to replace that one as well. And yeah, that's the pain, you know. You've got to replace all your flashes, and I don't want to do that, but I'm going to have to do that, I think, because I just can't rely on these things anymore. They just keep breaking. So yeah, sadly, that's the update. So I'll put another video up shortly. I'm going to talk a little bit about my flashes and how I use them. I've actually changed some of the things that I use to my supports, that is. I think in the last video where I talked about the AD200, I had a thinner pole. It was a little bit junky, and I've since gone through a couple of other poles, and I've now settled on a monopod. So I'll talk about how I use the monopod, and how I use I've got a little light stand for these guys, so I can use these as fill flashes, just quickly place them around in rooms. So I'll talk about that in another video. Otherwise, stay tuned, and I'll update you on the progress of when and if I can get this guy replaced. Okay, thank you. See you in the next video.